It's the meat event meet, and before we break it down, shout out to our latest subs, AWMD, Hoodoo Man, and Tyler Rogers. Appreciate you guys grilling and chilling with the boys, and I'm interested in me to see where you're going to go with this one. Are you going to go with your boy Marvin Vettori, a.k.a. Angry Marvin, or does Jared Cannonier, the Killer Gorilla, come back and continue his win streak in this meat event? Because the last time we saw him, he picked up a nice win over Sean Strickland, and that was in another meat event, and it was a split decision. It was a fight where I know Sean Strickland definitely thought he won that fight. A lot of viewers tend to think that he won as well, but one of those fights where it just could have gone either way. Each round was very, very close, so I didn't think it was the craziest split decision, and nonetheless, Killer Grill was on the right side of it, and it was good to see him pick up a win because the time we had seen him before that was against Izzy. It was in a title shot, and he kind of got dominated start to finish. It was pretty similar, I thought, to Amanda Nunes versus Irene Aldana last Saturday, where it was just start to finish. Cannonier was never really able to get much going over Izzy, and it makes sense, right? Izzy is a guy who goes out there and just stupefies his opposition, and they always seem so confused when fighting against him. And another person who just looked absolutely confused against the champ Izzy was, in both occasions, Marvin Vettori, right? And this is a guy with a bunch of UFC wins. His only losses are those two to Izzy, and then he lost a decision to Robert Whitaker in a meat event slot, or a co-meet rather, and that was a fight where Whitaker just sort of reminded everyone that unless your name is Izzy Adesanya, he's likely going to beat you. And last time we saw Vettori, I was actually there live. It was at the O2 Arena, and it was against our boy Roman Dolidze, and I was there live meet. I saw it with my own eyes. I watched all 15 minutes, and at the end of that fight, I looked to the people next to me, and I had no idea who won that fight because it seemed very close to me, and I know a lot of people thought that Roman Dolidze maybe even did enough to win that fight, but nonetheless, it was a unanimous decision for Marvin Vettori, and a good rebound win for him because much like Cannonier, he was coming off a loss as well. So what are your thoughts on this meat event? It's kind of a logjam. Like it's one of those fights where you can't say that the winner is automatically going to get a title shot because both these guys already did get their title shot opportunities against Izzy and failed. So you wonder what's next for the winner, but nonetheless, it should put them in a better position. So who are you going with? Are you taking Cannonier, or does Angry Marvin get this done?
Yeah, you know, this is a fun fight, and I gotta take Angry Marvin. I mean, Jared Cannonier is rolling up on 40. Marvin is still 29. It's crazy how young he is. I always forget. I'm like, wow. I'm thinking he's 36 or something, but no, he's still 29. Lots of room to grow, and I hope that he keeps getting better and better, but we will see in the next 5 years. But yeah, I think Marvin has the skill set to get it done. You know, Jared does have some bombs, but man, old Blocky just does not get put down. He's never been dropped or knocked out by any of these absolute killers. I just don't see Jared Cannonier getting that one done. But I think this is a very fun fight. This is kind of like Gatekeeper Young versus the old Gatekeeper, because they're in a weird stalemate of they're probably never getting a title shot until Izzy retires. Then Marvin probably could be champ, you know, once Bobby Knuckles and Izzy are kind of out of the picture, but unless Marvin levels up, of course. But I think Marvin's going to get this one done. I think he's going to be dominant fashion.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if it does play out that way because, you know, you touched on the age. I, too, was surprised that Marvin Vettori isn't even 30 years old. It seems like we've been watching this dude forever. And, I mean, Jared Cannonier, he's a man. He's 40, right? Like, the dude is pretty old, and we've been watching him for a little while, and he still has crazy strength, crazy power, and even crazy speed for his age. But you wonder just how he's going to fare against Marvin, who is a guy who can mix it up. You mentioned it's seemingly impossible to sleep Blockhead. I mean, he's got that square dome and simply absorbs punches, never is ever rocked. He's always just in a fight regardless of the damage he accrues. So it's going to be tough for me to envision a world where Cannonier is able to get a finish. And I don't know, if this thing goes the distance, then for me that sounds like a Vettori victory. And 77% is rolling with Angry Marvin. Basically all of it is beige. They think the decision is most likely. And 23% is rolling with the Killer Gorilla. My question would be, Meat, is there any concern about this being 5 rounds? Do you see Marvin being able to dominate the early and the later rounds? Or what are your thoughts on if this thing reaches the championship rounds, what this fight looks like?
Yeah, I think he's going to dominate from beginning to end. You know, maybe Jared has a hot first round. I could see that. But I think, you know, the second, for sure, the third, fourth, fifth. Marvin's got a great gas tank. He's always pushing a nice pace. And Jared, with his age, you know, he has a specimen, though. I will have to give him that. You know, I don't know if it's the crystals he hangs out with or like rubs or whatever he does or collects. But there's something going on with him because the dude looks like he's 25, but he's going on 45. It truly is marvelous. But yeah, this one's gonna be a fun fight. I think it goes the distance. I think Marvin wins majority of it. I don't think it's gonna be a split. And yeah, I'm actually pumped to see this one. This is gonna be a high level, very fun fight for the fans.
Yeah, I'm pumped too. It's probably going to be a high-level chess match for sure. And I'm with you. I'm going to take Marvin Vettori, likely by decision. The only thing that gives me pause for concern is I'm hopeful that Killer Gorilla doesn't just chop away at Marvin's legs early and often, because when Killer Gorilla really starts implementing those early calf kicks, he's been able to debilitate guys. I mean, we saw what he did to Anderson Silva, David Branch. He's picked up just some TKO finishes where those leg kicks were crucial in the outcome. So perhaps that's a pathway for Jared that he might want to hop on early. But if Marvin's able to get past those early dangerous 7, 8, 9 minutes, I think that a decision for him is most likely for sure. So it's gatekeeper versus gate creeper, and we're both going with Marvin Vettori in this one, both by decision. So any last thoughts, mate?
No, fun fight. Throw in the comments who you taking. You taking old blocky, angry Marvin, or Killer Gorilla?